Right, already. Setbacks.
I have a motion from Mr. Cameron.
Dennis seconded.
And a vote?
Aye.
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 And then we have number 4, upon determination by this board as to whether the R100 or RE District both standards apply, the applicant seeks the corresponding variances. You want to make a motion, Jim?
Well, let's,
Or you want to discuss it, Liz? Go ahead.
so, now that we're on to applying the RA standards, okay,
Can I just stop you for a second? For those of you that are confused probably because we're talking R100, RA, there are special uses or special exceptions in the R100 that you can use parts of RA zoning. So that's what we're discussing. So if anybody's confused with, we're talking R100, RA, there are special exceptions that are able to be used, except that they're a little bit stricter, so they're not conforming. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
when considering, just to set the record with respect to the statutory, your statutory charge and the analysis, the zoning board of appeals shall take into consideration the benefit to the applicant if the variance is granted, as weighed against the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood or community by such grant. In making this such determination, the board shall also consider 1, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting of the area variance. 2, whether the benefit sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. 3, whether the requested area variance is substantial. 4, whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. 5, whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the Board of Appeals, but not necessarily preclude the granting of the area variance. Okay. And just to be clear, again, the variances that you are, there are a total of 5 variances here. Again, minimum lot, 40,000 is required, provided it's 17,960. A difference of 22,040 square feet. Front yard setback required is 45, provided is 40.7 feet. Excuse me. One side yard is 40 feet. The smallest side yard is 9.3. The other side yard is 28. It's not right. 23.8, excuse me.
Right.
So both side yards. And then your code also has a provision for the totality of the side yards. It needs to be 100 feet. And in this case, we're getting, it's 32.2 feet. And lastly, the frontage needs to be 225 and provided is 160. So I'd ask to poll the board for each of the questions, and we'll go by question one by one for the total analysis. So 1, whether an undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby property will be created by granting of the area variance.
You want to go first?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, I think that there's a substantially undesirable change that I would see in the village, and that would be that it could open the door for a lot more people to look for a change in their property designation on there, if we allow this.
I absolutely agree with that. I think that though it may not be like an undesirable change to the actual property itself, I think that if we proceed with something that was setting precedents.
I agree with that. I don't know if you wanted to go first, Steve. I agree with that. I don't believe it will change that particular home per se. However, that will domino effect down the road, up the road, and we will see lot sizes that will be, have homes that will be on the road. People will be building, you know, it will be, and, you know, you have to also consider, which is not really listed here, but with two-family homes, there has to be more parking spots available. So if we're granting this, we're granting all the way down, and you have some lots that are very small. Other driveways would have to be put in or widened. It would definitely change the look, the character of the entire road in the village.
This driveway is big enough for 4 cars.
Yes,
required.
that one, that's what I said, Ben. I said that it may not,
Okay.
that house may not per se, but the variances are well over 50% of what you're asking for. And if we go over 50% here, you have to go over 50% for everybody else. If they have a little driveway and now they need 2 more cars to fit in there, we've got driveways all over, we've got parking pads all over. Steve?
I totally agree with everybody.
It's 50% breaking point.
All right, we'll go to question. Okay, question
Okay,
2.
next to, whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by some method feasible to the applicant to pursue other than an area variance.
Well, to me, the benefit that the applicant is looking for is basically financial on there. And I don't know if that's my role to help somebody make more financial money, but my concern is I don't want the person to be out. And as long as, my feeling is if he could sell the property for what he paid for it, I don't see any problem with doing that. He could then get the benefit that he's seeking, and that's being able to take his money and invest it somewhere else.
Well, I don't want to see anybody not be financially secure. I don't want to see anybody financially hurt. However, I don't feel that for what he paid for the house, he definitely could get a return with, and I have multiple rentals here that have rented that you can get anywhere between $22, $23, and $2,800 a month for a full house. You could easily get your return in 5 to 6 years, which as an investment property, that's really good. I mean, businesses generally don't make any money in the first 5 years, so I think you're right on point with that,
The
so.
public record shows that the purchased the property for $153,000.
Right.
So if
So
you're
within
taking
5 to 6 years,
exactly,
yeah.
if you're taking $2,600 to $2,800
Right.
a month for a single-family rental, you can get your return in 5 to 6
Right.
years.
So I don't think
Assuming
that
the
that's a
village
hard.
doesn't charge any tax, property taxes, water, sewer, right?
I'm sorry, pardon?
Assuming there's no property taxes, no water, sewer, maintenance, and anything else.
We all have to pay property taxes.
Right.
When you don't buy a house if you don't want to pay property
Right.
taxes.
No.
That's why we rent. If
Mhm.
if you don't want to pay property taxes or repair your oil burner or your air conditioning or whatever you call your landlord, but if you
But you
buy
have
a
to-
home,
No, the point is that your calculations of getting a return in 5 or 6 years do not consider the taxes, the insurance, the water and the sewer charges, the maintenance, all that sort of thing.
Capital
Mr. Gailey,
expenses.
we all know that when you buy a home, that's all has to be taken into consideration.
100%.
But that's correct, and your calculations of a return in 5 or 6 years
Well,
do not take that into
you know,
consideration.
unfortunately, that is not this board's job to make sure that he gets his return in 2 years versus 5.
I'm not debating with you, I'm just pointing out where
Right.
it's false.
I'm not debating either, I'm just saying that I'm very sorry that he miscalculated, but unfortunately, it's not our job to, take care of his miscalculations.
Okay. I was just pointing out that it's not 6 years, it's more to the 6D years than 6 years.
It's no, it's more towards 6
Closer to
years?
6D, 60.
60
years
years?
than 6
No,
years.
60 years, you have a
Closer.
30-year, for a $150,000 house?
If it's irrelevant for the board, then it's irrelevant, but if you are saying numbers, then it's closer to 60.
Get your calculator fixed. Your calculator's
I'm
not
very good at
working
calculating.
correctly.
I'm very good at calculating.
Okay, number 3, whether the requested area variance is substantial. I believe it is. It is well over 50%.
Well, just please,
Go ahead,
for the
you-
record, there are 5,
Yep.
minimum lot.
Right, oh, all right,
So-
we're going to each one of those
Right,
minimum lots?
because-
Okay,
So for example, the
Right.
front yard setback is fairly nominal.
right,
It's a small
yeah, I
area.
was
5 feet.
kind of putting them all together.
Yeah, I
Alright,
would,
yeah.
I would address
Okay, that's
each
fine.
separately.
So go ahead, Liz.
So again, the minimum lot is a difference of 22,040 square feet. That's 55.1%. The front yard setback is a difference of 4.3 feet. That's 9.5%. That's relatively de minimis. The one side yard is 30.7 feet. That's a 76% variance, almost 77% variance. Both side yards is a difference of 67.8, that's a 67.8% variance. And the frontage is a 28 point, roughly 9% variance.
Right. Well, again, it's substantial enough that if we were to grant this, we would be opening up the door for a lot. And as I stated several times this evening, we have stood firm on not allowing this, on keeping pretty much to what the code is.
I'll go to the next question,
Go ahead.
whether there's an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district.
Following through with what I said before, if you allow this one, and it's an extreme difference in what the lot size and the setbacks are, you will have other people asking for the same exact thing, and that's going to adversely affect the area. The density will become a lot higher, which is exactly what we don't want, and that's why it's owned single family.
Exactly.
Okay.
I agree with
Right, you're
that.
gonna have everybody saying that he can do it, I can do it. And
Well, and I
it's not
know-
good for the neighborhood.
I know that we luckily have not flooded in the past 10, 11 years. That's because I took the buyout. But there is always that chance that the murderous Mudna will flood again. And unfortunately, if this is something that goes down the road, we will have issues. More building is less seepage.
And then the last question for the board is whether the alleged difficulty was self-created.
I said it before, when you buy at a foreclosure, you're taking chances. That is common knowledge, and unfortunately, he miscalculated, and I feel badly for that, but that's our job, is to follow the law and follow the codes that are set before us, and I don't believe that that this is something that we have to remedy for
I
him.
agree with that.
I don't believe he did his due diligence in investigating his purchase before he did. And we have absolutely no evidence that even he ever requested a municipal search, which he was supposed to get to us how many times.
All right?
Excuse me. Why do you think I didn't do the due diligence?
I'm sorry?
Can I ask you why you think I didn't do my due diligence?
Because had you done it, we wouldn't be here right now.
The fact that on the county website, it says it's a two-family aren't good enough. I'm not saying about the title search.
Unfortunately, they can be inaccurate.
I know at your ZBA appeal in Middletown, you would use the same argument. Use the same argument for the board, that on the records, it's a different class. The same argument you used for your appeal
That's
in
a
Middletown.
personal issue, sir. No, I'm stopping that right now. I'm stopping that right now. No, that has no,
It's personal opinion, right?
no, excuse me, that has no place here.
It certainly does have a bearing.
No, it doesn't. This is a board member. What he does in his personal life is not a part of this proceedings. Absolutely not.
I noted that I don't even know what that is about, so.
I
bring
do,
it- Please
and
don't
I-
bring it in
and
front of the board if
I
the whole
do,
board does
and-
not have anything to do
And
with
it
it.
has nothing to do with this
Yeah,
proceeding. It has nothing to
Please
do
don't
with this
bring it in front of this
proceedings.
board if
No,
it's
it-
not having to do with all of us.
We've said enough, but it's relevant.
It's not to me.
It isn't.
It has
Mr.
nothing
Beal,
to do with
it-
me. I
it-
don't even
Betty,
know what you're talking about, so
I
I
was
know it's
asking him, I
not-
was asking him.
I
But it's
understand.
okay if
But
you
you're
don't want-
asking
you
the
know.
whole board. We're all sitting up here. We're all here as volunteers, basically. So please, that's not something to bring in
It
front of us.
absolutely has no relevance here. And what people do in their personal life is their business and is not any part of these proceedings. End of story. Let's continue.
Does it do any members of the board have anything to add to
No,
the analysis
I-
that we went through?
I've said
I
it.
don't have anything else to add to this.
No, I've said it. We voting separately? I mean, we did basically vote separately.
You told us for those.
We told everybody, so we're.
Yeah, but I would have a separate vote
Right.
on each one. so
Okay.
Sorry to make the extra one.
No, that's
There.
fine.
As to the minimum lot variance
Yep.
requested, do I have a?
So we're gonna, as far as the minimum lot requested,
Yes,
who seconded it?
A second.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, who made the first?
You make the motion? Oh, Steve make the motion?
Make a motion.
I second it.
I'm sorry, let me catch up. on
That's
that.
okay, sorry about that. We got ahead of you.
A vote?
And just so I'm clear as to the motion,
The motion is,
We do not believe that it.
to deny the variance.
To deny the variance, yeah. Jim? Aye or nay?
Aye.
Aye. Steve?
Aye.
aye.
Front yard setback,
So we have to make a motion
Yeah.
individually. I make a motion on the front yard setback
to,
Deny.
to deny.
Second. Steve seconds.
Second.
That's it?
Aye. Aye.
You have to do
Aye.
it each?
Aye. We're doing each. You want to make the next one?
This is on the side yard?
Side yard?
I second it. To deny, right? You have to make the motion to deny.
Yes.
Steve, aye. Aye.
Aye.
who's, I'm sorry, second? I think you did.
I second it.
Jim, you want to make the motion on
Oh,
both
here.
side yards?
Both.
Both sides deny?
Both side yard motion.
Deny.
Deny.
Second.
Steve seconded. Steve, Jim?
Aye.
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 lastly,
And now the
frontage.
frontage. Somebody make the motion.
I make a motion to deny the frontage setbacks.
Second.
Jim seconded it. Vote?
Aye.
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 Aye. So that is 1, 2, 3.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
all of them.
That's all. Okay.
That decision will be put in writing and sent to the applicant.
That'll be put in writing and that'll be sent to your attorney. Okay?
Meeting?
No, we have a couple of
We
administrators.
have, yeah, I'm gonna close the public hearing.
No, there's no public,
Oh, there's no, oh, all right.
we're not in public hearing.
Thank you all for coming,
Good night.
appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you.
We have a couple of housekeeping things to do, so we're gonna be sitting here, and you're welcome to stay with us if you want. I'm sure there's something better on TV than this, although maybe not.
We were really, really good with
We're still recording.
Oh,
I'll tell you.
oh,
Yes, it's still, yes, we're adopting minutes and we'll, just, folks, if I may, we still have a couple of housekeeping items, so unless you want your voice recorded for posterity, we're still on record.
thank you. Thank you for
You're
coming.
welcome to stay, but I just don't want your voice recorded on record.
We'll see you
Thank
June
you.
17th.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
will. Thank you.
Okay. Did everybody get a copy of the January 27th minutes? It was in my email to
Yes.
you yesterday.
Yes,
And I,
I did not, yeah, all right. Make a motion to accept the minutes. And we're gonna be doing that in the beginning of the meetings from now on.
yeah, I put it at the end just to,
Okay, well, we can do it at the end if that's what you prefer. I don't,
That's better.
generally, I like getting that done, but
We don't want to drag them out.
no, that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, usually there's no changes, or we would know
Yeah.
about it prior.
There is one question I have. I was not actually sworn in at the January 27th meeting. And you have me down.
I didn't type them, we'll strike that if we're not.
Okay, so
So,
then,
subject to that amendment.
they're fine. I have to go with them.
Sorry, I did the March 25th, so.
He wasn't sworn in.
No, because he was sworn in my first meeting.
I don't know where he is, but.
Jim Kiernan not present, so if I can have a motion to amend the minutes, just redacting Jim Kiernan's name and I'll take care of that.
Okay. I have a motion to redact Jim Kiernan's name from March 25th.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we have a quorum.
January
1st.
January 27th minutes.
Can someone second
Oh, no,
that?
he is now. He is now, at
He
that
just can't
meeting,
vote on the
for the
27th.
minutes, he wasn't,
The rest of the three of you, Jim can't
Right.
vote on the 27th.
Right.
Can you second my motion?
I second whatever you said.
yes.
Like,
Technically, the school chairman is not supposed to election, so that's why.
You can, you
I
can.
mean,
The first three.
I know I can, but I figured, okay,
Do I
I
have
will,
a, do I have a, do I have a vote?
yes, I,
wow. People are
Three
voting
to no,
no.
one abstain.
I know everybody's coming up from the city, you know what I mean?
yeah,
They wanna.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, yeah, we were,
In an
No,
apartment,
I'd much
you know,
rather,
there's no all the parks are
because that sets a record.
Yeah.
The March 25th minutes, now, just so you're aware, under Zoom, they have to be stenographic minutes. Now that we're not in Zoom, they can be minutes that reflect the vote. These are not stenographic minutes, these are my minutes based on, I know I didn't watch the TV yet.
right,
And it's a classified.
right. I'll start
Somebody was
with,
drinking wine
I'll
when I read it.
start with tonight. I'll start doing tonight's minutes, how about that?
That would be great.
All right, I'll start transcribing tonight's minutes, but I'm not gonna transcribe.
Not, take a day, take a couple of days.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, if I may, were there any?
And I don't have any wine at home, so I have to,
Okay.
no, there's no correction.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion to accept the minutes of, March
March 25th.
20, yeah, whatever it is.
I'll second.
25th.
Meeting.
Jim seconded.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, yeah, once you do that,
All right.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've never been doing it the way we should have been, but whatever.
Okay. John,
Hello. I'll call you later.
Better now.
those,
Hello?
no, we haven't been in motion to adjourn. Those minutes must, see who played. Even if I will make the changes and send them to you, even if it's a 3-ring binder
Oh, they have.
in the village hall,
Yeah. By law.
approved, I want somebody to stamp it, handwrite, receive such and such date, and file them, because that triggers my decision. This, I'm gonna tweak tomorrow, I'm gonna email it around, this has to be filed in 5 days, so I'm gonna give you the weekend, if there's anything in here you want me to add other than what was,
Okay,
I'm gonna try to incorporate a lot of what you
Okay.
said into this. Some of it is already kind of there.
and was a little bit repetitive, but
Nope,
I got the gist.
Whenever I say file this, even if it's a binder on the clerk's back bookcase, it's gotta get filed.
It's serious, like.
Okay, all right,
And I wanna see filed and date.
Right, yeah,
okay.
Okay.
we can't
May I
make
have a
this.
motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
Second.
And what's that?
Shut her down?
It is 8:06,
Maureen made that motion?
yes,
Who seconded, Steve?
yes.
Okay. All right, now you get to fill your attorney and what the heck happened in Middletown.
What was
Can I
that?
shut,
Steve?
Wait, is it off?
not yet,
Turn it off.
okay.